Shoobadoop. Okay, welcome back to another episode of the Dare Show podcast. We're all here. That's what we're all here for. There has just catch up on some stuff. Hopefully you guys care. A little review of some stuff. Music reviews this week. Just a little bit, just a little commenting of some stuff. So let's get right into it. For If I Didn't Love You, so right, the number, oh, that's what I meant to look up. Oh man, I have to look up and see if Adele is still number one. I don't think she might be. I don't know. I didn't see anything. Anyways, If I Didn't Love You, the number one song for 2-3 weeks, number one country song by Jason Aldean and Miss Carrie Underwood. Side note, right? Carrie Underwood, I think, is booked completely, right? She did this, whatever country music award happened. They have 4 a year, right? She did this one. She's doing another holiday TV special, and then she has another, wait, what is it? I think the American Music Awards in right in a week. Not this Sunday. Wait, yeah, this Sunday, I think. Okay, anyways. And then she's doing her Vegas show, right? Sorry, no, sorry, Carrie. Sorry. Carrie, can you send me some tickets, please? I'm your number 2 fan. I love you so much, Carrie. Can you please send me some tickets? I want to go. But she's so busy, right? Doing all this stuff and then doing her Vegas show, which starts, I believe, in December. So I'm like, oh my goodness, give a rest. Don't wear yourself out, child. Anyways, If I Didn't Love You, they finally did it. Jason Aldean and Carrie finally sang it at whatever country music awards that happened. And it was okay. She looked beautiful. She looked great. She had this giant ass black dress on. She looked great. She sounded great. Their chemistry was horrible. That's basically all that was really bad. And they're gonna sing it again at the American Music Awards. I'm like, y'all have 8 days, 10 days. I think it was 14 days when I last checked. So it's 10 days now. Y'all have 10 days, Jason and Carrie, to act like y'all have some kind of chemistry, because y'all just standing there talking about If I Didn't Love You, standing there looking like 2 toothpicks, looking at each other. I'm like, come on, we got to get some chemistry. And I said this before. I think I said this about the video. The video is just, oh, they had no chemistry. And I get it. You guys, I don't know if he's married, but I know she's married. He's probably married. I get it. Y'all are married. But if y'all aren't gonna, put marriage to the side to sell this song, well, I mean, that's number one. But still, if y'all ain't gonna sell it to the song, sell it to America visually, y'all can hang it up. Don't even come out here with this mess. Yeah, so just, y'all need to find some kind of chemistry. She low-key carried the song. She killed it with the ad-libs. I don't know if his microphone was down or his microphone seemed a little bit lower than hers. But come on. Y'all gotta get it together over there. Anyways, on to another American Idol. Why isn't anybody talking about Jennifer Hudson? What I am about to say is some very shocking news. Jennifer Hudson, aka Hollywood Hudson, aka Aretha Franklin, because Jennifer is everywhere singing Aretha songs, talking about Aretha. And it's the movie's been out for 3-4 months now. Nobody's really talking about it. I haven't really heard any I heard one solid review from Nayrob, and they was like, it was a good movie, but some of the parts were a little sketchy. I wasn't personally interested in it after seeing the Genius, that review I gave with Cynthia and Revo, who is now being cast in Wicked. I don't think, or maybe Cynthia needs to just stick into her lane of singing. I didn't appreciate her singing Aretha Franklin songs. I didn't get any kind of essence of Aretha Franklin from her or from the songs. I think it was like maybe one song she sounded really good on. It just didn't work. This British dark-skinned woman playing this.
So, welcome back. Thank you so much for sticking around to the Dare Show podcast.
Caramel, thick.
I talk about music.
Slightly southern drawl, woman from Detroit.
Dare you to look at things from a different point of view,
any of that
perspective, which is my perspective.
But back to Halloween.
I want to get into it.
I wasn't excited to see the movie.
The song of the week.
The movie. I don't know if I will.
Shout out to
Beyonce.
Like
Thanksgiving.
It's gonna be Be Alive.
Watch.
What is the name of the song?
What's it called? Respect.
The Be Alive, which she hasn't promoted. Everybody else has promoted. Like I said, Dixon promoted it.
Genius one. The Genius.
She hasn't said a word. I remember the word. So
was based off
anyways,
of the David
she's my nerve.
We all know Aretha Franklin started to write the book.
I adore that woman, but she gets on my nerves.
I'm confused. I figured if he's a black man or a white man.
So if you haven't noticed or if you don't know about impeachment,
I forget.
Okay, first of all, it's called American
he looked very
Crime Story.
So I'm like, is he a white man?
Impeachment.
Wait, I think he's Jewish.
We were supposed to get a American Crime Story.
Who just loves the niggas. So, anyways,
Hurricane Katrina.
Aretha was writing the book.
I was so fucking excited for that. I'm like, yes.
David, and I think at like the last hour, she was like,
whatever. It's so funny. I don't want to do this anymore. Where I live now.
So she changed her mind and wrote another book
in Shreveport.
So the David Ritz book is like,
I mean, I happened to my
interviews with her family, her friends. I think that one guy.
2004?
Away.
I think it was 2004.
It was like September.
Like the summer of 2004. Or 2005. Yeah, it was 2005.
Was that after? I think it was after. David Wexler.
We happened to live here.
I figure where he was. Never mind.
Northern Louisiana. But so when it happened,
she,
I remember
put him in a trick bag and said, "I'm not going to
Hurricane
play with
Katrina,
you anymore, and you can have this book." And he still put the book out.
I don't remember like them saying.
That book was a little
I don't remember
bit more,
much of like a big commotion about it. I just remember it was my birthday. It was September 1st.
Going on, Aretha's
and I think it had rain.
And Aretha always going to Jet
the entire
magazine
week or
and
something
Aretha
like
lying
that.
And
I was in
her abusive relationship with Ted,
Ted
White.
So
all
uniforms, guys.
So I think the Genius was more based off of that.
People,
also the family wasn't in it.
Very annoying.
We said
also,
boycott,
side note,
Genius boycott Aretha. We didn't.
Okay,
but anyways, I don't know how good it is going to be, but I feel like Jennifer Hudson is out here campaigning to get that Oscar.
Is way different than everybody else, right?
We'll see.
Because when I got here,
but anyways,
I had
as we know, Jennifer Hudson. Oh, I didn't tell y'all.
Problems.
So Jennifer Hudson.
That was pretty much it. I had like math comprehension problems.
Who's out here campaigning to get her Oscar.
My favorite subject. Math was not my favorite subject.
Almost an EGOT winner.
We're not even going to go into it.
How come y'all aren't talking about this?
Having math issues,
Jennifer Hudson is almost an EGOT winner,
and I was getting help for that. And so when I got here, they put me in regular, quote unquote, regular
Oscar and Tony. Guess what she just got?
And then they found out that I was in like special ed, so then they put me
outstanding interactive
put me in special ed
for a daytime program.
And then I tried to look up what this was. Like 3 or 4 months
work she surpassed. It's for Baba Yoga.
Special ed, and then they put me back in regular.
I don't know what that is.
Classes.
I couldn't really. I think it was really jumping out and telling me
about it.
When I did research it, when you look it up, it's like this
my disability, quote unquote disability, was not that big of a disability because I ended up beating the disability of
I think
Southern Louisiana standards of disability, so they put me back into that. So yeah, shout out to
interesting. I'll say the
education system.
Baba Yoga.
But the thing was, it had like rain for
but she won an Emmy. And the thing is, nobody's saying Jennifer Hudson won an Emmy. All I've been seeing are these These same three images of Jennifer Hudson.
We got Chinese food.
Posted up, smiled,
just ran on my birthday.
hella hard. Nothing but
aftermath of
and
it was
and the Emmy.
all of the
Southern
up, Louisiana,
so close to the camera,
to where
and
we
I'm
were.
Like, okay, girl, whose Emmy did you steal?
And
like, okay,
they were,
why do you keep showing us this damn picture with you? This
it was a
you and this Emmy, and she just like, look, you guys,
like,
I won.
They hated it.
It wasn't really any
we
kind
were
of caption.
Like there was some kind of freaks,
and everybody just like congratulations or something.
I think we all,
I mean, is she stealing to take this picture with? Then I go look
Nobody
it up,
really
and it's
about it.
She won the Emmy, and I'm like, okay, congratulations, Holler Hudson. It was great news.
I do remember.
You're almost an EGOT winner
at that point.
Okay, so she has the Emmy for this Baba Yoga, whatever this is. The Grammy for her,
the students
album,
were much bigger.
Which I kind of feel like,
I mean, not the students. The classes were much bigger in sizes.
I think it was her first album. I low key feel like
lunch was hectic.
I only know a couple songs from each of her albums. I think her
in a way.
No, I'm sorry.
There's just like a lot of people
play her like that. Her second album, I do know more songs off of. Her third album,
there was like these like drives for like.
It was a
clothing
banger.
drive.
I do feel like
that they
she went back and re-recorded a bunch.
She went back and recorded a bunch of songs.
I think they were still like
their families intact. I don't think anybody was like separated from their families. The ones that came to
Beyonce at
the school I was at.
Beyonce album was very like different in a way.
That's all I kind of remember about Hurricane Katrina.
Sexual.
It was a weird time. So I was very excited for Hurricane Katrina. We're getting a black. This would be the first black one. Black American crime stories.
And it was just like a different moment in time. And I feel like Holler Hudson had to go back.
The first black one. There was the OJ and
do something to edge it up.
Assassination of.
Although I do like 95% of the songs.
And so then now we have
that's her best album.
But I just read.
Well, I'm not gonna say her best album.
I didn't just read, but I figured the album I really put two and two together that they weren't gonna give us a.
I feel like her first album, maybe it was like a
crime story.
I don't know, but the really beautiful thing was
they were supposed to do that, but
Whitney
then
Houston,
COVID
hit,
beautiful, so they switched it up, and now we're not getting it. We got
light blue, dark blue, white.
So Impeachment is about
presented Jennifer with
Mr.
her
Beale,
first Grammy or her only Grammy,
Nasty Clinton,
the Grammy, and that was just such a beautiful moment. Right?
And
so she has the E,
predatorial,
the G, and of course the Oscar for
his sexual
playing Effie White
prowess on these women and
so
their things. And I did watch
she
the
needs
Clinton
a Tony,
Files.
And I feel like you can get a Tony for directing, you get a Tony
or whatever
for
that was
acting,
like or whatever,
performing.
That
directing.
was really, really, really good. This one I kind of reopened some stuff and got into
creating the play,
things and put like
creating the show, whatever.
Puzzles came together in pieces.
Get your EGOT
pieces of the puzzle came together.
We'll see if she gets it.
So,
that would be really cute.
One thing,
a lot of black
first
women
of all,
have
Linda Tripp,
the EGOT. I think
who was sort of the quote unquote.
I think
what does she call herself?
Whoopi is the only black woman.
I am the whistleblower of this
Whoopi's
whole
the only
operation.
black woman, I think. And then there's John Legend.
That was a little bit of a stretch. Linda Tripp, she died earlier this year, I believe. So I'm like, did she die or did they kill her?
So
because I'm like, why would Linda all of a sudden just die of cancer this year when they put out this freaking movie? Like, what a coincidence.
Possibly
it's creepy and I don't like it.
I don't know
what
the
it's very sad.
stipulations for nominating
another thing.
And submitting
she called
Oscar
Bill Clinton a predator. She recently called him in like an interview a couple of years ago a predator. And I 100% agree. He's definitely a predator going after all of these women. I mean, there's like
she wrote
double-digit number of women.
She wrote, but she released I think, Be Alive. And I remember listening to like a clip of it from like the movie. I was like, okay, I need to hear this song right now. And it definitely delivers.
Some kind of sexual...
One thing... Okay, I'm just going to negative out of the way. The one thing that really bothers
something like that
is that
he's a freak, and I was very surprised. So I'm like, if this was the thing that Monica said,
her music in the last
if this was one of the instances, imagine the other kind of like freaky stuff he did. Monica said in the last episode, I didn't watch the 10th episode, but in the 9th episode,
like they're good, they're really great. This song is really great.
Quote unquote deposition to a jury panel.
But I'm not complaining. I'm complaining, but I'm not complaining.
As side note, right?
But Be Alive, it's still a bop. It's still
great. They had
still
to be
like
not
moments where I'm
actors.
still
They were
like
black
hearing,
people being black.
I don't know the
people.
technical word, but she'll like hold the note.
Girl, oh what?
She'll sing, hold the note, and continue singing.
I'm like, these are not actors.
She'll give you a good growl
one
moment.
Of the stories she gave was
the song is for
he had a cigar.
What's it called?
He was smoking the cigar.
Oscar, King James, King.
He put it out.
King
I
James.
think.
Whatever.
He was like
Venus and Serena's.
Let me put it up, yo.
Daddy's name is.
And he did it, and she let him. And then he take it.
It's a beautiful song. King Lear, King Oscar, King James, King Richard. That's what his name is. That's the name of the movie.
Puffed on it. It was like,
I think she saw a screening of it, and she was inspired by it, and you know,
like,
it's still like a fresh,
a fucking
cliche song. It's not super cliche. Like if you think about it, it's very cliche.
What was this?
But it's still like a fresh.
I tweeted about that for like 3
especially
days
Venus
like,
and Serena.
Did you put the cigar in her and took it out and tasted it? It
Serena,
was like, oh, it tastes so good.
Serena's sister
Monica was like 22.
Like okay, Papa was a Rolling Stone, right? King Richard was a Rolling.
You nasty
Richard
predatorial freak. And I'm like, he's doing all this with all
literally.
Women. I guess he was doing shit with Hillary, right?
Richard was a Rolling Richard.
There's like this rumor that Hillary was never pregnant
Richard
with.
was everywhere. I mean, so before Venus and Serena,
Chelsea.
I think it was like whatever.
Or there was
second
like
clump of sisters,
no pictures or evidence of her
second
pregnant
clump
with Chelsea. I'm just
before them. There was like 5 or 6 others.
That's threw me for a loop forever, and I just wanted to
her older sister went to I think like the Daily Mail or somebody.
The tapes ruined Monica's life, and I do understand. I completely understand Linda Tripp's point of view. She's like, this
our
girl
sister's lives, but he never let us.
In love with the president. They called Linda jealous of that.
He left us,
and
mom
yada
had
yada.
to.
And I'm like,
I
don't know. If that's
we were all poor. Mom had to work or something
off that way.
But
But she's a thicker woman.
And then
side note with the food, I'm sick of the food. The food.
Okay,
we'll get back to the food.
A miserable life, a miserable, poverty-stricken life. All of a sudden, because this man left us. And
this thick woman
we would ask for money. He would never give us money. Mom had like breast or brain cancer.
But she ended up getting plastic surgery and shit.
He would never give us money, and
she's
she died.
A woman,
she
that
didn't get the proper care that she needed, or something
divorced.
Like that.
Like, you can see probably a jealousy moment, but I don't think she was jealous.
See that side of Richard and King Richard? Probably not. But Will Smith and his thick thighs are playing Richard.
Calling me every day, multiple times a day. Talking about this man who's the president that she's in love with.
So Beyonce, right?
Reciprocating.
The article was like she got inspired by her seeing a preview, and so she went in the song in the studio with.
Constantly talks about committing suicide over this man, so I had to say something. Now,
Juan Dixon.
All the conversations was a little bit extreme, I think recording some of them wasn't that
Darius
bad.
Scott Dixon. He's a newer
producer
artist.
To have this as evidence.
Excuse me.
I can't remember. I don't know if
he signed with Rock Nation and
to somebody and told him, or she was dragged into this.
Chance the Rapper, some other people.
But I think she went to somebody.
He put out his
and then they dragged Monica
debut
into
album, I think,
which ruined her life.
I don't think anyone's checking for him, but anyway.
I think they put the.
I guess they're checking for him now a little bit.
Social media type thing. They put the
because he co-wrote and produced the song with Beyonce. And the song is just,
but I can hear
on my side. We've been through all this.
And it's so crazy and funny.
And we still really got this black on my face.
And the journalist still didn't get it.
Everything
after.
So yeah, Be Alive. It's a great song.
Jury or people. She's giving us, you want to call it.
Okay, here's what I mean. She's giving us, those classic Beyonce.
At the end, she
operatic harmonies. These long notes being sung out.
Where she wants to go with society or where she wants to go with this. She's like.
The beat.
Blah, blah, blah,
I was going to say something else. Let's go to the beat.
Okay, so Linda, why did you
one of my
decide to
one of the people I follow on Twitter pointed out because I'm like, the song does sound familiar.
Why did you?
I'm not listening to the song back to back because the beat itself is only like one or two instruments. It's like 2 instruments, mainly 1 instrument, I believe.
Go back. Why are you such a horrible friend to Monica?
9 to 5.
And she's like,
not 9 to 5.
Did you not just hear what I said? That's what I'm thinking. Like, did you not just hear what she said? of why she did what she did and how she did it.
The 5, 2, 1, baby.
I found that very crazy and very funny.
In 2014, right before.
Last topic about impeachment.
I was like 13, right before.
Besides Bill Clinton being a predator and nasty and a freak.
Oh, no. Like 15. 14, 15, right before Lemonade.
And how he lied to Hillary.
And she did that
after Hillary said, if something happened, tell me, nigga. And he didn't tell her. And then he woke, every time he turned around, he's waking up Hillary with some news. He's either standing over her or looking at her while she's sleeping. And then all of a sudden,
global citizens.
Hillary, wake up. I need to tell you something.
She did that. Okay, so right.
She did. Like, can you wait until she gets some breakfast before you start?
I was like, oh, this sounds
going in on your truth.
Finger on it.
Going in on your lies.
Oh, this is, 5, 2, 1.
She told you, but anyways, the food.
That part is annoying to hear after a while. That's why I'm not listening to back to back.
Linda Tripp.
But with a fresh ear, you hear all these,
a lot.
How she,
like stressed.
What the hell is going on?
The film was like the third character. It was Linda Tripp, Monica Lewinsky,
the Arabian,
because the food was fucking everywhere.
Song.
It was a lot.
Thingy that she does.
It was lots of limousines.
I forget what it is.
Tons of slim fast, which had the girls in a chokehold in the late 90s.
Everywhere. But it gives such a, like, ooh, what was that moment? Or like, ooh, listen to her sing. And, the fact that
waffle
she
maker
records these harmonies and she does it over and over.
I'm forgetting, but there was some other, disgusting food she had on her food tray in the late 90s.
Octaves or whatever.
We got to wrap this up.
The correct terminology is...
The fact that she does I don't know if I'm going to watch the last episode. I feel like
her
we're wrapping up.
Is incredible.
I'm surprised.
She's growling. At first, to me, the lead vocal.
Go ahead and check it out. Tell me what you guys think about
awkward to listen to.
What did you learn?
Like, it gives like this rock. It's like her rock element voice.
Bill is disgusting. He does need to apologize.
So I'm just
they both.
But that 5-2-1 kind of makes it edgier and like a rock song.
Hillary and Bill. They need to acknowledge Monica.
Will it be nominated for an Oscar? Who knows?
Both apologize for the way they
could be.
Treated
this
her.
Could be a moment. I think this will be Yeah. Right. I think
Monica was a mess. She was 22.
Nominated.
Song. To this day, I don't think she's very remorseful of sleeping with a married man, but people get cheated on all the time. Married men get cheated all the time. It's not
already
their
nominated
fault.
for Hollywood Music
It's
Media.
Bill's fault
for best original song.
Clearly, all these women are saying there's something sexual happening.
Nominated for that,
and then
we'll see who she wins. We'll see
you're going
how
into
far
these
the song
things
goes.
with these women, and then
I don't really
come up with the young girl.
About it. It's kind of on
come
and
across
off,
a young girl who
it's still
can't
a great
control
song.
herself, and she's
Joss Stone, my
Her
favorite.
name is Monica, and she's
my favorite good. Joss Stone, my favorite British woman,
falls in love with you, and now
video and song was released Friday, this past Friday.
Nasty. Okay, I gotta go. I'm gonna go do
I'm underwhelmed.
Taste test.
I think, like I said,
Patti LaBelle new product.
This song,
so
the other song called
out
"Walk with
that.
Me."
I'm gonna go do it now, so it'll probably be in conjunction with this podcast.
No.
Thank you so much for listening. Tell me what you think about the topics that I said. Listen to Joss Stone.
This would be like that
song and video.
First.
What do the Carrie and Jason Aldean fans think about this chemistry test that is not happening with her and that
from
man?
A Joss Stone album.
And what do you guys think about impeachment? Shout out to Jennifer Hudson on your Almost EGOT winnings. Thank you so much for listening.
I feel like maybe that's where we're going.
I'm on Instagram at tonight.
Let me tell you.
Everywhere. Thank you for subscribing to the people
she's
that
worked
subscribe.
with Dave Stewart, who is from
and I'll be back next week.
The Eurythmics. The super group or group in England or whatever. They're best friends. They've been working with each other since LP1. And he said the song sounds very old school, but it's new. I'm like, there's nothing really new about the sound of this song. But he's like, it's very new school. It's very Dionne Warwick and Burt Bacharach type song. And I'm like, okay, I hear that part. I get that part. Do I want to listen to that? No. Is there a way to make it more modern? Absolutely. Is this the way? No. And it's like, sometimes I feel like I can have I have a good ear. I feel like, I want to be I can be a music producer, a vocal arranger. And I'm like, I feel like
I'm always there. I'm always having like a tip in my head. Oh, how this song could be better. Could there be more ad libs? Could there be more harmonies? Could you take this instrument out? This song, I have just scrap it. I couldn't think of anything to make it better. I'm just like, y'all got to do something better. Oh, the song is called Never Forget My Love. JOSS also, I believe, you guys, either she's merged with another album, she's merged with a, wait, let me see if I can figure that out. Either she's merged with a record label or she left her record label. I don't think she left it, but she might have just signed with another record label, maybe to distribute. I don't know, because I'm like, you've done well so far. Why start something now? But this is all. She also has a video out with this song, and she doesn't put a lot of videos out. So I'm not too sure what's going on with there. It says Bay Street Records, and it's not a hybrid with her other album. I mean, with her regular record label. So I'm very confused. This is water for your soul. Oh, oh, oh. See, this is what's stoned. I don't know what happened. Josh, tell us what happened. I thought somebody, because she did an interview, which I totally loved, because she was like, I've been, she had a baby and she's talking about marriage and, well, not marriage, but like finding the right person and having a baby. And so she's like, I was about to give up on love. I was about to go get, arranged marriage. I've been watching, I think there's a show, Indian Matchmaker. I think that show's on Netflix. She's like, I've been watching that. And then I love 90 Day Fiancé. I was like, Josh, don't me too. I love 90 Day Fiancé. I'm obsessed. Like I said, I think I said this a couple of weeks ago. I'm not sure about where it's going with this new season of 90 Day Before the 90 Days. We're about to get into some new characters. I'm a little bit nervous, but I'm going to be there. I think it happens in next month, in a couple of weeks, actually. As I think this season of 90 Day, the other way wraps up hopefully pretty soon. Because I'm like, y'all ain't really saying much. It's a messy, but y'all ain't really saying much. But I was like, yes, Justin, I love 90 Day Fiancé too. But she didn't really talk about the song, or maybe the article didn't point out the parts where she talked about the song, because she did an interview on like this England show. And yeah, but the video, okay, let's go back to the video and the song. The song, I just don't like it. It's not appealing towards me. The video needed some work too. And I'm thinking maybe that's why she signed with the record label, so she can put more visuals out, maybe. Because she's not like a visual artist. She doesn't always put out videos. I was very surprised when she put out the video for The Love We Make. The Love We Make Stays on My Mind, or whatever the song. The Love We Make, whatever. I was very surprised. Beautiful video. That video surpasses this video. This video is giving a little ghetto, a little low budget. Shout out to Mia from Real Housewives of I mean, we're like, the camera angles are horrible. We're seeing up into the ceiling where the vents are. We're seeing the chains on the little like door. You gotta, when you have a chain door, yeah. Like when you're in a warehouse and there's that chain door, you gotta roll up like the little garage thing. We're looking at the chains. There's, it was good for a basic video, but I'm like, this is Joss Stone. She's been in the game for like 20 years. She's platinum selling artist. She's touring the world. Speaking of touring the world, she's going on tour with Corinne Bailey Rae. A little southern tour I'm seeing, because it was like Tennessee, Dallas, Florida, like those kind of places. She's going on tour early next year. So if you want to send me a ticket, go ahead and send me a ticket. But if you're going to say some of these songs, I don't want to go.
But anyways, so yeah, Bay Street Records, which started last year, 2020. The song, I'm not a fan of. The video needs work. We'll see. I'm gonna give it a chance. I love me. I adore me some Joss Stone. You can go listen to the Color Me Free album, which was a total revolution for her career. The aftermath, the music on it, what she had to say, where she was in her life. Go check that out. It's definitely up still. If you love Joss Stone, we'll see where this goes. Okay. When I come back, we're going to talk a little bit about impeachment. So listen to my first sponsor, and I'll be back. So welcome back. Thank you so much for sticking around to the Dare Show podcast, where I talk about music. I go on rants. I want to dare you to look at things through a different point of view, a different perspective, which is my perspective. I normally I'm saying this, but I want to get into it sometimes, so let's get into it again. The song of the week, shout out to Beyonce. It's gonna be Be Alive. That is the name of the song. Yeah, I think it's gonna be Alive. The Be Alive, which she hasn't promoted. Everybody else has promoted. Like I said, Dixon promoted it. She hasn't said a word. I'm mumbling the word, so, you know, she doesn't care. Anyways, she gets on my nerves. I adore that woman, but she gets on my nerves. Impeachment. So if you haven't noticed, or if you don't know about impeachment, it's... Okay, first of all, it's called American Crime Story Impeachment. First of all, we were supposed to get a American Crime Story New Orleans. Hurricane Katrina. I was so fucking excited for that. I'm like, yes, show it all. Show the drowning. Show the whatever. Because it's so funny. I happen to live in where I live now with my grandmother in Shreveport early. I mean, me and my sister happened to move in with my grandmother in 2004. I think it was 2004. It was like September, like the summer of 2004, or 2005. Yeah, it was 2005. And we happened to live here in northern Louisiana. So when it happened, I remember Hurricane Katrina. I don't remember much of like a big commotion about it. I just remember it was my birthday. It was September 1st. And I think it had rained like the entire week or something like that. I was in middle school, first middle school year, 6th grade. So uniforms got picked on by these two people all the time. It was very annoying. Also, side note, okay, I can't believe we're doing this. The Southern school system is way different than everybody else, right? Because when I got here, I had like math problems. That was pretty much it. I had like math comprehension problems. Like math is not my favorite subject. Math was not my favorite subject. I had to... We're not even going to go into it. But I was like having math issues, and I was getting help for that. And so when I got here, they put me in regular, quote unquote, regular classes. And then they found out that I was in like special ed. So then they put me, so funny. Then they put me in special ed. And then I somehow in like, 3 or 4 months surpassed special ed. And then they put me back in regular classes. So I was very crazy to think about it. So my disability, quote unquote, disability was not that big of a disability because I ended up beating the disability of the Southern Louisiana standards of disability. So they put me back into that. So yeah, shout out to, the education system. But the thing was, so it had like rain for a whole week. And I remember it rained on my birthday. And
it was very crazy. It was we got Chinese food, and it just ran on my birthday. And then at the aftermath of it was they sent all of the Southern Louisiana students up to where we were, and they hated it. They were, it was a moment. It was a moment. It was like they hated it. We were looking at it like there was some kind of freaks. But some of them were cool. I think we all, in a way, made friends. Nobody really talked about it. It wasn't like, it was just a thing. It was like, they're coming up here. It was just, I do remember, like, at that point, classes became much bigger. The students were much bigger. I mean, not the students. The classes were much bigger in sizes with, like, students. Lunch was hectic. The pep rallies were kind of hectic in a way. It was just like a lot of people. And then I think, yeah, there was like these like drives for like clothing drives that they needed. Some people had stories, but I think they were still like with their families intact. I don't think anybody was like separated from their families. The ones that came to the school I was at. Yeah, that's all I kind of remember about Hurricane Katrina. It was a weird time. So I was very excited for, Hurricane Katrina. We're getting this would be the first black one, black American crime stories. The other ones were, oh no, there was, okay. This would be the first black one. There was the OJ, and then there was the assassination of Gianni Versace. And so then now we have impeachments. But I just read, and I didn't just read, but I put two and two together, that they weren't going to give us a, crime story, Hurricane Katrina. They were supposed to do that, but then COVID hit, and so they switched it up, and now we're not getting it. We got impeachment instead. So impeachment is about Mr. Bill Nasty Clinton and his predatorial ways and his sexual prowess on these women and their things. And I did watch the Clinton Files documentary or whatever that was on like A&T or whatever. That was really, really, really good. This one I kind of reopened some stuff and got into depth in a little things and put like the puzzles came together in pieces. The pieces of the puzzle came together. And so one thing, first of all, Linda Tripp, who was sort of the quote unquote, she called herself the, what does she call herself? I am the whistleblower of this whole operation. Girl, that was a little bit of a stretch. Linda Tripp, she died earlier this year, I believe. So I'm like, did she die or did they kill her? Because I'm like, why would Linda all of a sudden just die of cancer this year when they put out this freaking movie? Like, what a coincidence. It's creepy and I don't like it. And it's unfortunate. It's very sad. Another thing, she called Bill Clinton a predator. She recently called him in like an interview a couple of years ago a predator. And I 100% agree. He is definitely a predator going after all of these women. I mean, there's like double-digit number of women that I think throughout his career, he's probably had some kind of sexual, whether quote-unquote allegedly rape or something like that. He's a freak, and I was very surprised. So I'm like, if this was the thing that Monica said, if this was one of the instances, imagine the other kind of like freaky stuff he did. Monica said in the last episode, I didn't watch the 10th episode, but in the 9th episode, she had to give her quote unquote deposition to a jury, a panel of people. As side note, right? The panel of people were not actors. They had to be not actors. They were black people being black people. There were side eyes. There was, girl, oh, what? They were like cracking me up. I'm like, these are not actors. But in one of the stories she gave was he had a cigar. He was smoking the cigar. He put it out, I think. And then he was like, let me put it up your... And he did it, and she let him. And then he take it out. And he like puffed on it and was like, oh, it tastes so good. And I'm like, Bill Clinton is a fucking freak. Like, what did I just hear? What was this? You guys, I tweeted about that for like 3 days straight. I was like, the cigar. He put the cigar in her and took it out and tasted it. It was like, oh, it tastes so good. I was like, oh my God. Monica was like 22. You nasty predatorial freak. And I'm like, he's doing all this with all these women. I guess he wasn't doing shit with Hillary, right? Because then there was like this rumor that Hillary was never pregnant with Chelsea. Or there was like no pictures or evidence of her pregnant with Chelsea. I'm just like, oh my goodness. That threw me for a loop forever. And I just wanted to share that a little moment with you guys. The tapes ruined Monica's life. And I completely understand Linda Tripp's point of view. She's like, this girl is in love with the president. they called Linda jealous of that and yada yada yada. And I'm like, I don't know if that's true or not. It doesn't come completely off that way, but she's this thicker woman. Side note with the food, I'm sick of the food. Okay, we'll get back to the food. She's this thicker woman with she's, this thick woman with okay, I'm not even going to down her look. She wasn't bad looking. But, she ended up getting plastic surgery and shit. But she's a thicker woman, she has 2 kids, she's divorced. You can see probably a jealousy moment, but I don't think she was jealous. But she's like this young woman who's calling me every day, multiple times a day, talking about this man who's the president that she's in love with, and he's not reciprocating anything back to her. She constantly talks about committing suicide over this man, so I had to say something. Now, recording all the conversations was a little bit extreme, but I think recording some of them wasn't that bad. But she was like, I need to have this as evidence. So I think I can't remember. I don't know if she went to somebody and told them, or she was dragged into this. But I think she went to somebody, and then they dragged Monica into this, which ruined her life. Because I think they put this was like the first like social media type thing. They put the tapes online so everybody can hear. And it just ruined her life. But I get her point of view. And it's so crazy and funny how the paparazzi and, the journalists still didn't get it. Because after Linda gives her deposition to the jury or people or whatever you want to call it, she has this quote-unquote press conference. I don't know if this actually happened. And then at the end, she, she explains herself and explains, where she wants to go with society or where she wants to go with this. And she's like, blah, 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 blah. And then the man at the end is like, okay, so Linda, why did you decide to, I keep forgetting what he said. Why did you disgrace Monica or something? The D word, Monica. Go back. Why are you such a horrible friend to Monica? And she's like, did you not just hear what I said? That's what I'm thinking. Like, did you not just hear what she said? of why she did what she did and how she did it. I found that very crazy and very funny. The food. Last topic about impeachment. Besides Bill Clinton being a predator and nasty and a freak. The food. And how he lied to Hillary after Hillary said, if something happened, tell me, nigga. And he didn't tell her. And then he woke, every time he turned around, he's waking up Hillary with some news. He's either standing over her or looking at her while she's sleeping. And then all of a sudden you see her, Hillary, wake up. I need to tell you something. And she's like, what? Like, can you wait until she gets some breakfast before you start going in on your truth, going in on your lies after she told you? But anyways, the food with Linda Tripp. She did say, she ate a lot. That's how she, like relieved stress. The food was like the third character. It was Linda Tripp, Monica Lewinsky, and the food. Because the food was fucking everywhere. It was a lot. It was lots of lean cuisines, tons of Slim Fast, which had the girls in a chokehold in the late 90s, early 2000s. It was disgusting. The waffle maker, I'm forgetting, but there was some other like disgusting food she had on her food tray in the late 90s. I was just like, girl, we gotta wrap this up. That was not good. I don't know if I'm gonna watch the last episode. I feel like we're wrapping up. I'm surprised. I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna watch it, but go ahead and check it out. Tell me what you guys think about impeachment. What did you learn? Bill is disgusting. He does need to apologize. They both need to, Clinton, both Clintons, Hillary and Bill, they need to acknowledge Monica. Both apologize for the way they treated her. Yeah. Monica was a mess. She was 22. She, to this day, I don't think she's very, like, remorseful of sleeping with a married man, but, like, people get cheated on all the time. Married men get cheated all the time. It is not their fault. It is not the mistress's fault. It's Bill's fault. Clearly, all these women are saying, something sexual happened, and then, you're going into these things with these women, and then you come up with come across a young girl who can't control herself, and she's young, and her name is Monica, and she's falls in love with you, and now they were nasty. Okay, I gotta go. I'm gonna go do a taste test of some Patti LaBelle new products, so keep a listen out for that. I'm gonna go do it now, so it'll probably be in conjunction with this podcast. Thank you so much for listening. Tell me what you think about the topics that I said. If you listen to Joss Stone, tell me what you think about that song and video. What do the Carrie and Jason Aldean fans think about this chemistry test that is not happening with her and that man? And what do you guys think about impeachment? Shout out to Jennifer Hudson on your Almost EGOT winnings. Thank you so much for listening. I'm on Instagram at MyLoveMoneyTonight. This podcast is everywhere. Thank you for subscribing to the people that subscribe. And thank you so much for listening to the people that listen. And I'll be back next week on the Dare Show Podcast.